what up, Long Beach? Welcome back to this black and gold edition of Long Beach Sports Talk, brought to you by the Press Telegram and the Gazette newspapers here in Long Beach. As always, I am co-sports editor JJ Fiddler to my left.
Co-sports editor Mike Gardabasio, and to my left,
a guy who people seem to like, Tyler Hendrickson, and everything that we do here at Gazette Sports and the Press Telegram. And a sponsor of a lot of things at Long Beach State. They feed your 49ers quite a bit. Naples Rib Company down there. Feed the beach, Mike. Tagline writer for show.
And, of course, our other sponsor, putting the Eat in 2nd Street. Our sponsors are Naples...
Mike totally stole that from Tyler. Mike totally just stole that drop from Tyler.
Already knocked me off what restaurant I was about to
That's
say.
fantastic. No, Tyler gets credit for the second one. Mike gets credit for the first one. But also, Papalucci's and Naples Rib Company get credit for being the best restaurants on 2nd Street.
They put the Eat in 2nd Street. That's my thing. Papalucci's get the garlic knots. Delicious.
Do get the garlic knots. Also, stick around for this episode. We're going to be talking volleyball, soccer, 49ers Long Beach State sports is back in action for the fall, and we'll let you know all about it coming up right now.
Our first chance to see the brand new floor is going to be Thursday night as the Long Beach State women's volleyball team is hosting Idaho. The Vandals are going to be
hopefully the Vandals don't come in there on their namesake and mess up this new floor in the Walter Pyramid.
It's my number one concern right now. But have we? So here's my question: have we ever covered a match where the venue had more hype than the game? Because it's definitely like, I know a lot of people who don't normally go to women's volleyball matches who are going essentially just to see what the new wood and the new floor design looks like. And certainly, I mean, that's like when we're talking about our video coverage. Yeah, we'll have a video highlight of the match, but we know like 10,000 people are going to watch just to see what the floor decal looks like, because you're not going to have those televised basketball games until November.
Yeah.
So this is sort of the chance to get in there and check it out, kick the tires, see what it do. I'm really excited to see the floor legitimately.
Well, the floor is such a cool thing because really Long Beach State was the first university to embrace this palm tree look on the floor. Other lesser universities have tried to do the same and failed.
You don't say.
But now Long Beach is going even one step further and refurbishing the floor that Mike said was the original. And so now, not only will the parquet look nice, but also what's really on top of it is going to look modern, which is honestly one of the first modern things put at Long Beach State in quite some time. I love the way that school looks, the brick and everything like that, but it's going to look very new in the mid for the first time in a while.
Well, and it's maple, right? It's maple. I know everything. I know everything there is to know about maple flooring. I love maple flooring. So this is really exciting that it's going to be this new floor, which we've needed. You know, the pyramid has needed the upgrade to the floor. So everything gets better there, but it's the subtle differences. The stain rather than the paint that was the old gold paint for all the design. The colors just outside the key instead of inside the key. There's going to be accents along the baselines and things like that. The new font style. So everything just gets a little bit of an upgrade. It's the design that you know and love. Little tweaks, all facing the same direction. And yeah, you're right, Mike. Everybody is more interested kind of in the facility than they are in seeing what we presume is going to be a fairly straightforward 49er win.
Well, you're saying words like upgrades and little tweaks and brand new. We stopped talking about the floor and started talking about Long Beach State women's volleyball, it sounded like. Because upgraded with little tweaks, and hey, look what health does for you. Brian Gimolaro, very excited about this black and gold team, and honestly, so are we.
JJ, I'm going to be honest, that's an award-winning segue right there.
It's absolutely.
It's some of the best work you've ever done, to be completely honest.
The black and gold medal right
You're
there.
coming straight at Conan O'Brien with a segue like that. Yes, the women's volleyball team itself, definitely excited. I did the preview for them, so I've been following along, excited to see how they do. About the start that we kind of thought that they'd have last weekend. 1-2, lost both matches they played against two of the top 20 teams in the country. And I think the feeling is there that this team has that ceiling, but they're not there yet, and that was sort of to be expected. This weekend, they get the home cooking. They get some teams, like you said, like Idaho, who are not ranked in the top 15 in the country and should be a little bit more
beatable.
A little more beatable, yeah. And I'm excited to see the players. You got All-American Chisholm Opala back, Tyler Jackson, who's a 4-year starter at Libero.
T-Jack, man.
Lakewood grad.
Lakewood product just did it.
Well, so this
all
is
the way through since the day she showed up there on the sand and on the floor.
This is the 7th year that JJ and I have been covering sports together in Long Beach, and we've been covering Tyler Jackson that entire time. She was a sophomore at Lakewood on a team fresh off of a state championship when we started covering them. So that's pretty cool.
Got to make sure Tyler's get all the love possible. T-Jax just got her 1,000th dig out against Southern Illinois, looking to move up into the top 10 all-time this year.
But a lot of new faces. Janelle Hudson, the setter, is definitely one to watch just because what I've been hearing is that the setting is going to be greatly improved over the last 5 or 6 years, and that's so important to Jim Malaro's system and the speed and tempo they want to play at. If you see a lot of quick hits, the ball moving really quickly side to side, you'll know that's what they want to be doing, and you'll see him smiling as opposed to yelling on the sideline.
Game of the week on campus has to be Friday night at George Allen Field, 7:30, where the newly ranked number 23 Long Beach State women's soccer team is going to host San Diego. That immediately got all of us thinking about the last time we saw Long Beach State take on San Diego in a pretty big game. It was back in 2011 at Drizzly Drake Stadium. It rained all night, all day, and all the way through that Sweet 16 matchup.
For another 40 days and nights after that.
And eventually, the Long Beach State 49ers reached the Elite Eight with a 1-0 victory. But the experience of covering that game and just the match in and of itself was so much more exciting than the final score because we had just never seen anything like that before.
No, ponchos and umbrellas were definitely needed at that game, and it was madness. I mean, the fans that traveled out there, they rushed the field, and it was sort of surreal, that environment for that game. Ashley Rose with the winner, and then, like you said, JJ, it sent them to the Elite Eight, where they traveled to Duke, and that was one of the defining moments for that program and that school, really.
Well, they still talk about that year. Why not? I mean, that really was the peak of something that Mauricio Ingracia tried to build starting in 2004. And then instead of it falling right back down, he was somehow able to maintain that level. Yeah, they had a few hiccups here and there, but, I mean, they're trying to make their 5th NCAA tournament in the last 7 years this year. That is a viable Southern California soccer powerhouse.
Right, and obviously soccer, just like volleyball or water polo, it's hard to be out west because the NCAA has that East Coast bias in the way they put their brackets together. So you're always playing essentially a top 15 team, and they had to play at Pepperdine that year just to even get out of that first round. Pepperdine as a ranked team. So, yeah, I mean, it was a huge win. I have to say I'm a little surprised that you're giving that game of the week, though, because Long Beach State women's volleyball versus Campbell Soup, early Friday morning, 11 a.m., I thought was going to be the showpiece.
Well, it's going to be good either way, but it's probably not going to be a very good match.
Probably safe to say.
Those people have lives.
Well, whatever.
Back to this soccer team. They had a great weekend at home last weekend, taking on Georgia and Denver. And the star of the, actually I should say stars of the show, the dynamic duo is back. Mimi Rangel and Ashley Gonzalez. They were high school teammates at Chino Hills. Rangel, now a sophomore, a year after leading Long Beach State in scoring. Gonzalez, a freshman, currently leading Long Beach State in scoring because they assisted on each other's goals, ended up combining for 3 goals and 3 assists over the weekend, including the game winner in both games. And I gotta tell you, man, watching Ashley Gonzalez play is not like watching a freshman do anything else in any other sport. She is unfazed. She takes the physicality like she's been playing college soccer all her life. And she's like 5'0", 100. She took a shot at midfield after going up 2-1. Could have very easily walked off the field and said, hey, that's enough for me. Waited for the yellow card, like all good soccer players do, and then popped right back up, ready to go again, ready to take on whatever was coming. And Mauricio Ingracia says every time I talk to him about her that her mentality and her attitude and her fearlessness is what makes her a great soccer player. Not necessarily her technical skill, but as we saw on Sunday, she's got that as well.
She has that.
Well, so my question to you, and they do sort of put to shame any previous time we've used the phrase dynamic duo, but with
really
the success they've already had in college and the fact they played together in high school, who's the Batman?
Oh, Mimi. And Ashley's the first one to tell you that, because she respects the elder, and Mimi actually helped Ashley come into her own in high school. Ashley says that she really wasn't that confident. Mimi even said that Ashley wasn't really that confident in high school when she first came up playing varsity as a freshman at Chino Hills. But that sophomore year, she scores like 20 goals. She ends up scoring like 38 her junior year. She leads the Huskies to a CIF championship her senior year. Now she shows up at Long Beach State Mimi's there again as a sophomore, and it's like they just picked up where they left off.
So then I have a question. What villain is San Diego? What Batman villain?
Ooh, that's a good
Mauricio
one.
Gracia Alfred?
He'd hate you for that analogy.
Or, I know, but
well,
I
we've already used Commissioner Gordon for Shauna Gordon.
True.
So with the Batman comic book nickname for that program is really coming together at this point.
I'm excited about it. I think we could flesh this thing out. It might be its own
I think so
podcast.
too, dude.
To be honest.
I don't know. But
And then I think Nadia Link is perhaps Nightwing.
You know, we never really gave. That's a
disciple
good
that's
point.
moved
We
on.
never really gave Nadia Link a nickname. Well, the little Linkster really was easy.
I mean, her
was too
nickname,
easy,
her nickname,
actually,
her nickname
honestly.
was GOAT. I mean, her nickname was the best player we'd seen on a Long Beach State women's soccer team. But yeah, she was like,
No doubt.
it was kind of like how Michael Jordan is. You know, I mean, he had nicknames, but Michael Jordan is the best. I mean, it's a title almost, Nadia Link.
It's funny you bring that up, actually. They put a new poster. I guess it's not really a poster. It's more like something to cover the fence out there behind George Allen Field. And it's a picture
beautiful.
of all of the great Long Beach State players, you know, players of the year. Obviously, you've got, we just mentioned, Shauna Gordon, Lindsay Bullock, Haley Bolt, those fantastic midfielders. You've got The Wall, Liz Ramos on there, and you're going to have to pay a whole bunch to come across this Emily Kingsborough Bridge. All of them are on there. It's awesome. Gusavis is on there. Maybe these girls could be on there one day too, but it's so fun because, Mike, we started covering this team in 2004 when we were working for the newspaper on campus, and that's when Mauricio and Gracia
well, you were
showed up.
covering them. I was just hanging out.
But to see how far that program has come to where they can actually recall their own history 10 years after they really didn't have any. This program got reinstated in 1998. And now they're bringing in freshmen who are just changing the game. Can I tell you a quick story?
Freshmen who were barely alive when the program started.
No doubt. And it kind of puts it all together. Mauricio and Gracia runs Beach FC, which is the club team run out of Long Beach State and the area. Really, right now, it's one of the better club programs in Southern California because they recently won 3 national championships on the same day.
we're like in the nation. Yeah.
So they're pretty darn. So yeah, they're pretty good. Ashley Gonzalez played for Mauricio and Gracia at Beach FC for 1 year. That's something that's allowed in soccer. You go to a basketball team, and obviously that stuff isn't allowed for teams, for girls or boys coming from high school to the college level. But she's able to play for that team. So she's been with that team for 4 months when they play that Saturday national championship game. Or excuse me, that Sunday national championship game. She's been there for 4 months. Somebody gets taken down in the box. PK. Now, we all know Sammy Reinhardt, right? Wilson Bruin, currently with Nebraska in her first year there. Everything. Helped the Bruins win a CIF championship as a junior. She takes all of the Beach FC PKs. And according to Ingracia and head coach Dalton Kaufman, no one's really seen Sammy Reinhardt miss a PK. Now, I know that's the kiss of death, and God bless Sammy, and best of luck out there with the Cornhuskers. But with that in mind, 4 months after joining the team, Ashley Gonzalez walks up, convinces Sammy Reinhardt to step off the spot. Gonzalez takes the ball, buries the PK, ends up scoring again later in the game, and they go on to win the Natty. That's what type of player this true freshman is. And I gotta tell you, man, it's just really exciting to think of what she could get done in the future with this system and the great players she's got around her.